she get with it. Let the whole world know and be the first to admit it. Let you know if she's good and if she dig it, cause she's Rick the critic, Rick the critic, Rick the critic, Rick the critic. She the first to admit it if she can't dig it, cause she's Rick the critic, Rick the critic, Rick the critic, Rick the critic, Rick the critic.
Hi, I'm Rick the Critic, and welcome. Today, my guests are Trey and Ariel Fernald, and we're going to be talking about The Last Appeal. If you remember, a couple of months ago, I spoke about a play and gave you all these great reviews and told you to go see it and how just heart-wrenching and all that. Well, look, guess what? The guests are, the people are here today. They're here today. So now we can connect it all together. Welcome. Please,
Thanks.
please. I know that you can't just tell us enough about the play, but I'm just so excited. I talked about it for like 2 weeks. I talked about it. It was like, I was there and the people behind me, they were just, I mean, they came in all gruff and hard, and when the play was over, you see these tears and you see people just, you know, tell us about The Last Appeal.
Oh, well, thank you so much for doing that.
It's
I appreciate
it's
that.
my pleasure. It's just
we're
great.
so excited. You know, we just hit our 1-year anniversary this month. This month, yeah.
Great.
What that means is we've been touring the show through the Los Angeles County area, Southern California area. Been going all over the place with the show. It's called The Last Appeal, Men on Death Row, and it is a Christ-centered, full-length drama. And it has been such a pleasure to work with Hollywood and Broadway actors that are followers of Jesus Christ. They just love their walk with God, and they're professional. They're amazing. A lot of them work as actors when they're not doing this play. And we've been touring around, and this play has really been reaching people effectively. It's been incredible. I know you saw it, so you know how and why. We've been in prisons, probation camps, I should say. We have prisons on the docket next year, but we have probation camps. We've been going to regular theaters, performing at regular theaters, churches, big and small, doesn't matter the size. And it's been a pleasure, and it's never the same experience. You know, one place, will be really affected with the forgiveness theme that we have, and another place they'll raise their hand to accept Christ as their Lord and Savior when it's all over. We'll have a high influx of people getting saved after the show, and another place they'll just really respond to a invitation to, if you need to forgive somebody, if you need to release somebody that's really hurt you, there'll be a high influx of hands going up for that as well. So
that was my experience, and that's what I talked about with my viewers. It was just unforgiveness. As I sat there and I watched the play, and you know, all of these feelings come up, and you think, wow, because you know that you have to forgive people.
Yeah.
You have to do it, and sometimes we don't even know. And that was the interesting thing about the play, was that there was some hurts there that you just kind of forget about, just some little bitty little foxes, and they're there, and you're thinking, oh, I'm good, you know, and then all of a sudden these tears well down your eyes, and you think, well, I guess I'm not, you know, there's just a lot to it. And you guys wrote the play together, or how did you come up with this?
No, I wasn't a part of the writing of this play at all. That Trey has a wonderful team of writers that work with him and helped him in developing the idea, but it was really this guy that the Holy Spirit worked through to script the production. And the story itself is such an amazing story because the characters that are in it just really draw you in. You've got 5 men on death row who all have their own different stories, all their own family characters that they're connecting with, and you just find yourself in one of the characters, whether it's the men on death row or the women that in their lives, the daughters in their lives, and you take this journey with them through dealing with the issues in their life of unforgiveness, whether it's with themselves or with someone else. And there's a real mystery aspect of it. You'll say at the end there's a big moment, which you hear in the audience, which we won't give away. And that gives it, again, that thrill, that excitement. But what's, like I said, is so exciting about it is it's just a great story. And you get pulled into this story, but what God has done is allowed you, as you're going through this story, to start working on and dealing with some of the things in your own life. And that's the beauty of it, is that it sets up our audience members to be just open-hearted to what God would do and ministering to them, whether it's touching their heart and helping them to release that unforgiveness, or it is having them for the first time accept Christ into their life.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah,
It's been
but
great.
the amazing thing, though, and I think the amazing thing about the play is that you can see it over and over. You can see it more than once. I have been to plays, and I love plays. I've been to plays, I've seen it once, and it's like, okay, it was really, really nice. But this play is one that you can see over and over and over, and you
thank you.
still get something different out of it. There's a you know, the unforgiveness, but then there's some other things in there that you get out of the play. And when my girlfriend Barbara, when she shared it with me, she said, Juanetta, she said, this thing, you've got to see it. She said, I've seen it 3 times. And I thought, how do you see a play 3 times?
Yeah.
You already know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, The Lion King, I took my granddaughter to see it because we watched it over and over and over and over and over. She's 19 now. And so when the play came, I thought, I'm going to take her there. And we sat there just mimicking every line. It's like, they're going to say this. I mean, we knew the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so when my little ones came, my little grandchildren came, I thought, no, we're not going to see The Lion King because, you know, I just knew it. But this play is a lot different from that. It's very, it grabs your heart. It just, you know, you can identify with the people. And so it kind of, like you said, it just draws you in. And when you're there, you don't move, you're just watching. And you know, and then you put yourself there and all inside. Because everyone has someone or knows someone that's been there. And so when you're looking at it, it's like you just begin to identify with the characters. And so, I mean, did you just came up, I mean, just one night, was this a one-hit wonder? You know, like some people just write the song is one
wish.
song and
I
it just,
wish.
you know, it just, to take a long time?
There's a famous quote from Hemingway, and it's great writers are great rewriters. And so that's what we did. We rewrote it and rewrote it and rewrote it. And I had to humble myself and go, well, what do you think of this draft? Well, okay, let's talk about this character. The people that gave me feedback, or let's talk about this character. This character could be a lot more interesting if you maybe make some different choices. And so we back to the drawing board, rewrote it and rewrote it.
How
We had a
long?
writing team. And they consisted of some great writers.
How long?
The script?
Yeah, how long did it take to do this?
It was, gosh, it probably took about 3 months.
That's not a long time.
It wasn't
I
because
thought you were going to say 3 years.
Right.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He is an amazing writer. He just is blessed with that ability.
So it comes
So
out.
for
okay.
him, it's, you know, he can say, oh, I got this idea, and boom, it's on paper.
But
So
it
for
was-
3
at the time,
months,
it
that
my
was labor.
full-time job.
Okay.
So I could spend all day, every day on
Okay.
writing it. You know, if it wasn't my full-time job, it probably would have been a year, taken a year. But
Okay.
the team was amazing. I mean, my father was on the team. He's a courtroom drama writer. And then
Like Perry Mason
yeah,
type
that
thing. I
kind of
love
thing,
Perry
yeah.
Mason.
And then we had a guy named Sean Hoffman. He wrote Hometown Legend. That's a film and a book.
It sounds so familiar.
Cassandra Lawyer, who is at the time she was on the writing team for General Hospital. So
Yeah,
we
so we're
got
very
together with myself, and we just hashed out some great characters, hashed out a great plot, but then I was the one who had to go to the drawing board and crank the script out. So that's what we did, and after 3 months, we were happy with something. And you know it's exciting when we just read the script. We're sit around the table and do a reading, and people are crying and moved there. You know what
Wow.
I mean? So
That's
do
when
wanna-
the anointing is on
Oh,
it.
yeah. I do want to point out, though, that this script isn't all boo-hoo. You know, like I said, it's
No,
got the
not at
suspense, the
all.
drama, but there's also a lot of fun humor, unexpected humor that people find
It is.
in the play. A couple of very fun characters that are in there, and they keep it fresh and keep us up and down with the levels and all that good stuff.
yeah. We call it a drama with unexpected humor.
Exactly. Because when you say
Good.
when you say, you know, the last appeal, Men on Death Row,
Yeah,
you know,
already you're just-
people aren't expecting, you know, that we
It's
pictures of
nothing-
Shawshank
it's
Redemption, you
nothing
know,
like
come
that.
up, but it's not like
It's
that.
nothing
you know, for
like
one
that,
thing, it
trust
is a
me.
family-friendly
It is.
production.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you
Yeah.
say?
And that's real important too, because you can't take your children.
Yeah.
You can't, and it's one of those plays where you see it, and it's like, I want to take. Listen, come see this. You know, you just spread the word. You want to bring someone there.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I said it's not like any play that I've ever seen. You know,
Oh,
like I
that's
said, I've
good.
seen them before, and I watch them, and it's like, okay, this is good, but I don't. You know, I'm not gonna. I may pass the word and say, come on, you know, listen. Go and see the play, but it's one of those things where you want to take the person with you. You don't
Yeah.
want to just say, go and see it.
Right.
It's like, come go with me and let's see it. You know, I don't mind seeing it again. It's like that.
Oh,
What I
that's
always
really
say
awesome.
is to see it is to love what God's doing with it. And as I said, I want people to know that it is a family-friendly production in that, yes, it's Men on Death Row, but that doesn't mean they're going to be taking their child to hear a lot of profanity and see
Yeah.
violence and a lot of things. That God's hand has allowed it to make the point and to be engaging and real, even for prison, for those who are in probation or prison, to accept the reality of it, but not to keep people away from
Yeah.
because of those things.
Yeah.
So that's one of the
We
things that's
would
very
call it
exciting
a PG,
for me.
you know.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
definitely say
PG
so.
rated.
Yeah.
I would
know
take
all
my
my
grandchildren to
kids-
see it.
Oh, good.
I would take
That's good to
my
hear.
grandchildren to see it, and I would take anyone else's grandchildren to see it. I would. There's a lot of lessons in there. There's well, I don't want to give it away, but it's a lot. It's a lot in there, and my grandson, I could take him and my granddaughter, and they could look at it and come back and just, you know, I mean, it's just a lot in it, and it is family friendly. It is real, and that's kind of one of the things we don't see very much of anymore.
Yeah.
We, you know, I rented a Disney movie when my grandchildren come by for the weekend. We rent movies, and well, actually we go to the library. I'm a little cheaper than that. We go to the library and we take out movies.
No, you're
And then,
frugal.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
frugal.
and so I got something called The Golden Compass.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen it?
I've heard about it.
It's really different. I mean, even though on the back it says PG, it was interesting because coming from a Christian standpoint, it was they had each child had a spirit, and the spirit was an animal, a raccoon, a bear, a dog. I mean, just you know. And I thought, as I looked, I thought, wow. And then they took the children in, and they wanted to cut the spirit away from the children
Oh, wow.
because they didn't want. It was
Yeah,
really
that's a
something.
little too much for me.
It is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm saying it was Walt Disney.
Yeah.
And so when
Yeah.
we see, so what that taught me was that, you know, not only, Juanetta, do you look at the back and read it, you need to view it first before your grandchildren, because
Yeah.
we're all sitting there together like in awe, you know.
Yeah.
So to me, I depend a lot on the referral of other people, other family members, to say, I've seen it before, it's good. And, you know, other than that, you could really find yourself in a real problem with your children. I mean, you know, kind of all
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
and it could be really, really embarrassing. I mean,
Absolutely.
really.
Absolutely.
So,
Do you
but
ever
this
have
is not
those
it.
friends though that you can't even trust their opinion?
Yes.
They're like you.
Yes.
They're a good Christian person. and
Yes.
They'll say, "Go see this," and you're like, "Okay, I'm gonna do it." You do it, and you're like, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah, then you know, and then you look and you say, and you said what? You told me about yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, I do. But this is nothing like that. This play is definitely one of those. And like I said, I talked when I came back. The next month when I did the show, I talked about it, and people ask me when it's like, well, you said, you know, I was telling a friend of mine, I said, you got to go see it, and she said, yeah. And then Barbara called and she said, I'm going back to see it again. I said, well, I can't go. I'm going out of town, but could you wait till? She said, no, I'm taking a couple of friends with me, and so, you know, she came. But I'm amazed. I just really. I am so glad that God gave you the vision and you just followed it up. You know, oftentimes God gives us these things and we kind of sit on them sometimes and we don't. and the people in the audience that were saved, I mean, I saw people giving their life to Christ. I saw that. I saw that at the mission. I saw people get up and come down. I thought, gee, I mean, you don't even see that much activity in church. And I think that's one of the things that I really liked about it, because there are people that will not go to church, but your play will reach those people because they will come to see the play, but they will not step into a church.
It's interesting that you say that, because that's really what we want to do in order to build the church, but also build the body of Christ and populate heaven, is make sure that we have something that a church, if they utilize it, the church gets built. But if we take it and we put it in the theater, then it is kind of an alternative church for those who won't set foot in a church.
That's right.
You know, so we want to hit it on both ends. You know, we
definitely
figure
hitting
the
it.
devil's hitting things on both ends. We gotta get in there. We gotta hit things on both ends.
And really, it's a
so.
wonderful partnership with the church,
Yeah.
because when we go into a church, it gives them the opportunity to bring in family and friends to an event to see a wonderful play that's going to touch their lives, that's going to bring them to Christ, where, as you said, those individuals may not come on a Sunday with them. And it's also an opportunity for that church then to build and to grow, because what we share at the end of our production is that on this new journey with God, what you need is a home church. What you need is a family.
Yeah.
What you need is a place that you can gather weekly and worship and grow. And that gives the church the opportunity then to come alongside those new individuals that have been saved and offer to be that family and that home for them. And so it is a way that we can build the church and help the church to outreach to their community. And so that's a big part of what we're doing, is just connecting with churches to have this partnership and make it happen.
Well, and let's talk about that a little bit. Is that how you're promoting it? Could you tell us a little bit about how a church can get you guys to come, and how are you marketing it? Because it's really a great thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Our website, www.thelastappealplay.com. If you go there, you can read all about the play, what it is. We've got a promo video that's attached to. There's a link for a promo video.
Okay.
They can look at our future shows, where we've been so far. It'll just break down everything. It lets them know about our cast, the characters in the play. So it serves a great purpose there, and they can read up about us. But what we do simply is we will go into a church and we'll set up. We'll take 2-3 hours to set up. If they want just the basic version of it. If they want an elaborate version, we have a $10,000 set we can load in. If it's a big church, you know, and they're willing to give us a day or two to load in, we'll do that. But we'll come in, we'll do our play. We like to do a promo 2 weeks before. We'll come and do a live promo that's just as powerful. It's a powerful monologue kind of associated with the play, and the same type of ending. And people are just cut to the core right there. And we'll say, hey, in 2 weeks, we're going to be here with a full-length play, you know, and that'll motivate people to go out and reach out to the community and bring them into the church. We'll perform the play. We give an altar call for several different things. One of them is unforgiveness, as well as to be born again. And we also invite them to come back to the church. And when that's over, we'll minister for about half an hour after the show's over, pray for people. Our cast and crew are all trained prayer counselors. So it's not just people you haven't seen for 2 hours, but it's our cast and crew, the leads and the supporting characters, as well as the crew that's been backstage. They'll all come out and they'll pray for the people that need prayer. When that's over, all we ask is an offering. So we're taking up an offering, free will offering, to basically replenish what it took to get into that church. Yeah.
You know, now, wow. That's like the office of an apostle, an evangelist. I mean, really, you're really hitting a lot of offices there. And when you so now, are you a nonprofit?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so we can send donations to, and let me tell you something. And I need to say this because, oftentimes, and I'm not. Let me see. I can say this without being. I don't want to be offensive. But this is Rick the Critic, and I do that. So, you know, I have seen people come. I've seen evangelists come and have $1,000 lines, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've seen people jump up, and get caught up in the moment and, rush down there and make these. And this play is something that I really feel like when I give my money to something, I want to see something. I want to see the fruits of that labor. I want to see something. And this play does that. This play definitely reaches the people. And so I want us, and I want the audience, I definitely want my audience to know that there is a place that you can donate, because this is tax deductible. It's a nonprofit, so it's exempt. So you get your money back. And that's not always the thing, but this is a good thing. This is really a good thing. And you come out and you just come you go to the churches, and do you do small organizations? Do you,
we do
just
small
anyone?
and big. We have a set for literally, there's a 100-seat sanctuary, 100-seat sanctuary. We'll come in, we've got a smaller set. We'll take a couple hours, set that up, and we're ready to roll, and we do our thing, and we're out of there an hour and a half after the show's over. Or we've got a $10,000 set, and it takes all day to set it up, and it's real elaborate. We got jail cells, 5 jail cells. It looks
Catwalk.
real.
Which one did I see? Was that the elaborate one that I saw?
No, you saw the basic set.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I can't. I got to see the elaborate one.
The other one is basically 5 prison cells put together on stage. And above it is the catwalk where the guard walks and everything. The tower guard is above of the 5 jail cells. So we'll come in, we'll set up, and the larger set takes 2 hours to strike. It takes forever to get up. It takes 3, 4, 5 hours to get up, but it'll take 2 hours to take apart once the show's over. So
now, where are you guys now? Where will you be this month? Well, this is September. Where are you going to be this month and next month?
We got a promotional performance this Sunday.
Okay, where?
It's in Compton.
Okay,
Compton,
where?
yeah.
Address. Give us address so we can get there.
It's Community Missionary Baptist Church in Compton on 148th and Central.
And who's the pastor?
You stumped me.
Okay.
I'm still getting to know him.
Okay.
I know the person that got us into the church is Alicia Hamilton. She is the pastor's wife.
Okay.
Alicia Hamilton, yeah. So Pastor Hamilton, I would
Yeah,
assume.
that
Yeah.
sounds so familiar.
But we're there this Sunday. We're doing 2 services.
time?
We have a 8 o'clock service and
Okay.
then a 9:30 service, or probably a 10 o'clock service.
And you'll be doing the last appeal?
We'll be promoting it. We'll
No,
be doing our
it's the
7-minute
seven-minute
promotional.
promotional.
Yeah, and then 2 weeks later, we come back to Compton, and we're going to do 2 shows. We'll do a show on the 8th of October, 8
Okay.
p.m. Friday night. The next day, 2 p.m. matinee, same
Okay.
location, Community Missionary Baptist Church. And then the following week, we are at Lighthouse Church in Santa Monica.
Okay, and the address there is?
It'd be on our website. Yeah,
Okay.
just got to go to
All
our
right.
Once you
website.
start
yeah.
traveling around,
I know,
keep
listen, it
track
all
of
looks
all
the same. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Addresses.
well, we definitely know that Sunday we can see you at Compton.
Yeah.
We can see you in
Yes.
Compton.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks after that, we will see the show. You have 2 shows to do in Compton?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be there, the 8th and 9th of October.
Okay.
Following week, 16th and 17th, we're at Lighthouse Church in Santa Monica.
Okay,
So,
and the church in Compton is missionary, what'd you say?
Community Missionary Baptist Church.
Community
Yes.
Missionary Baptist Church,
Yeah.
148th and
Central?
Central.
Yeah.
Okay, and the other one is in Santa Monica.
Uh-huh.
yes.
I am just so excited, and I will be out of town that week, but no, you said the 8th of October.
Uh-huh.
I come back the 8th
Friday
of
night.
October.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
And
I'll be
then
back.
We have a
Oh,
matinee
good.
the next day on the
Yeah,
9th.
I'll be back. I'll be there. I'll be
Oh,
back.
it'd be great
so
to
I'm
have
gonna
you.
oh man, listen, and I'm trying to think of who I can bring. Because you know what,
That's
you
right.
want to bring your heathen friends, and you want to bring
Yeah.
you want to bring your Christian friends too. You never.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
But I'm excited.
I must say that for whatever reason, I take a lot of pleasure in this too, but we've had pastors come to the altar broken, get in prayer.
They're just
you know.
people.
Yeah, the theme pierces that deep. I mean, it's not just the lost people, that'll be great for them. No,
Right.
it's Christians are just as broken at the end of the show.
Yeah. Oh, listen, this hits everyone. It's not
does.
and they're just people.
Yeah,
And
We have to pray for our leaders.
yeah, we do.
One of the
We do.
venues that we've been able to get into has been into the probation camp system. And that has been such a wonderful, rewarding experience for us
Yeah.
going in, because you've got young men and young women that really haven't reached the prime of their life. They are 13 to 17 years old already in the system, in an
Federal
incarcerated
offenders.
situation. And you know, people would say that they're lost, they're no good, there's no hope there. But what's exciting about this is that we're seeing that no, there's great hope. God can reach them. And we've been able to go in and to see them just be touched and broken and turned around from the experience of the last appeal. And I have to say that those people that give into the organization, their donations, and the churches that come alongside and partner with us and support us, because you can partner as a church with us, it helps us in going into those areas. Because as Trey said, when we go to a church, we take up a love offering. But when we go into those community venues, those probation camps, you know, we're not passing a plate to these kids.
Right.
So we are there because it's what we're called to do and because we can make a great impact. And we believe God that He will cover the expenses that we incur,
Yeah.
you know, in doing it. And
It's
He's
been
faithful.
amazing.
He's been faithful. So
That's
I did
been
want to
our
let people know
favorite
that.
venue. That's our favorite venue because, you know, we're dealing with our type of communities, you know, in the city of LA. That when we go to these probation camps, it's unbelievable. And they'll always tell us, don't expect them to raise their hands. There's peer pressure and all that. We went to Santa Barbara. We went to a probation camp in Santa Barbara for young teenage men. And they told us, don't worry about the hands, you know, they're not gonna. And then we did the altar call, and out of 65 young men, 60 of them gave their life to Christ. It was unbelievable. And we gave them Bibles.
60
Everyone left
out
with
of
a,
65.
yeah. And out of, and they all got Bibles when it was over. And it was a great experience. We were humbled. It was just as much a blessing to us as it was
God
to
is
them.
so awesome. Isn't He
Yeah.
He is.
awesome? I
He
mean,
is.
it's just so
Just
awesome.
amazing. And it's just amazing too how this whole process, building this ministry and bringing this play out into the community has been such a blessing for those who are in the production as well.
Yeah.
I mean, we're so grateful to God for the people He's brought into our ministry that are so incredibly talented. I mean, you've seen the production, you've seen the talent that we have. And not just one cast, but we have 3 casts. So we're not burning anybody out. We've got 3 casts, and they're just, each of them, just amazing.
Yeah.
And their lives, when they have the opportunity to be a part of this, their lives are just touched, and they just grow, and such joy.
Can't say enough about it.
Well, I thank you. Our time is running out, and I thank you so much for coming, and I hope you'll come back again. I feel kind of cheated that I didn't see the big production, so I'll be there on the 8th to see the production and the elaborate production. But thank you so much for coming on, and I hope to see you again.
You too. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
you.
Let the whole world know and be the first to admit it. Let you know if it's good and if she dig it, cause she's Rick the critic, Rick the critic, Rick the critic, Rick the critic. She the first to admit it if she can't dig it, cause she's Rick the critic, Rick the critic, Rick the critic, Rick